We are filming so much. I'm still hot. New booktuber tag. All right, let's do this. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What time is it? 3:15? I have to start dinner soon. Okay. Hello all of my intelligent friends, welcome back to Tea and Lit. In today's video we are going to be doing the new booktuber tag. Yay! Thank you all so much for letting us come onto BookTube, us being my brother and I. In case you are new around here, this is our channel that we do together. He's a little bit camera shy, and shy is not typically the word anyone would use to describe me. So he does a lot of the behind the scenes work, but he also has a couple of his own videos, but they tend to just be his very deep baritone voice, bass voice, whatever. It's the exact opposite of my voice. All right, today is the new booktuber tag. Very excited to do this to kind of introduce ourselves and what Tea and Lit is all about. So, Tea and Lit is obviously about tea, a wonderful cup of green tea made by my father, and he uses agave and lemon in here, and it's just divine. Let's do this. Question number 1, why did you start this channel? My brother and I started this channel because we really love to evaluate stories. Whether we're reading it in a book, we're watching it in a movie, we're watching it in a TV show. He loves anime. You guys have probably seen that or will be very soon. And so we just love stories. We love to talk about stories. We like to think that we can write stories. And he's much further along on that journey than I am. But we just love stories. And so this channel is really a place for us to do two things. Number 1, to discuss stories. And number 2, to get into classic literature. I have not been as invested in classic literature throughout my life as I would have liked. And so this channel is really helping to hold me accountable to reading more classic books. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited to share with you guys all of that. So we both kind of have our own things that we're coming at this from. For him, it's very much from a story standpoint. I love the story too. And also getting into, for me, it's about getting into classic literature and evaluating the stories also. So it's just, you know, we both have our number 1 and number 2 priorities, but that is why we started this channel. And the other thing is that I want to say on a side note, Black BookTube does not seem to have a lot of people talking about classic literature. And maybe I just haven't found him or her yet, but that's kind of a bummer. And so we want to be the Black people on BookTube talking about classics. And also coming at it from a Black perspective. I think that's really important. Number 2, what are some fun, unique things you can bring to BookTube? I guess that's one of them. Answered that a little far ahead of time. Basically, I have seen a lot of Black booktubers, but they tend to talk about a lot of contemporary literature, and so I'm really excited to provide a Black voice to books like Uncle Tom's Cabin or Huckleberry Finn or Othello, and to be able to let other people know how somebody like us, somebody who looks like us, may read these books. And I really hope that it will impact the way these books are taught in schools, because both of us had experiences with reading these sorts of books in school, not going in a way that was comfortable to us, and having to have conversations with our parents when we came home from school to discuss it. And so I really would like to see a change in the way academic institutions teach these sorts of books. And so that is the thing that we want to bring to BookTube, is a Black perspective on classic literature. Number 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? This is going to be a little bit selfish, but the thing I'm most excited about is to actually read classic literature. Like I said, it's not the first thing that I'll go for. I will read a contemporary YA fantasy way before I'm going to grab a classic literature book. And so having that accountability to make sure that I'm reading great works of literature is really important to me. So I'm excited to have that accountability, to know that I have to post so many videos in a week or a month or whatever, and I have to, you know, read certain types of books. I can't just be reading, you know, Sarah J. Maas every week. So I'm excited about that. Number 4, why do you love reading? The number one reason I love reading is because it is a way to get everybody around me to be quiet. Is that rude? It might be a little rude, but people want to interrupt you. If you're on your iPad, people want to interrupt you. If you're watching TV, people will interrupt you. If you're sleeping and it's the wrong time of day, people will interrupt you. It's only when you're reading that people are like, oh, I'll be quiet. I won't bother you. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I like to read because it keeps everybody around me quiet. But I also love to read because it expands my mind. One of the big things about this channel is dark academia, and dark academia is all about expanding your mind and digging deeper into things and being in self-reflection and being able to view the world around you and figuring out how all of these different pieces weave together to create a better world. And so I love reading because I think it helps push me to be a better person and helps me to interact with the world in a better way, which will hopefully bring about a better world. One can only hope, right? Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? This is gonna sound so weird, guys. I was a struggling reader as a kid, like really bad. And it wasn't until I was 20 that I really got into reading. And the 2 things that got me into reading, this is not a joke. This is just so absurd. The 2 things that got me into reading was reading the King James Version of the Bible and William Shakespeare. And those are so hard. But for me, it was like I had this complete lack of confidence in myself when it came to reading. And so I felt like if you can read the King James Version of the Bible, which is exhausting, and if you can read William Shakespeare, you can read anything. And so that definitely got my reading juices flowing. It got me confidence, basically. So those are the 2 things. So I have a very special place in my heart for William Shakespeare for that reason. By the way, I don't still read the King James Version of the Bible, in case that ever comes up. 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Oh my gosh. So one of my favorite booktubers is Emma from the channel Emmy. She is into dark academia, and I didn't really know what it was until I started watching her channel. And so she definitely was a propelling force in getting me into the aesthetic of dark academia. And like, I had no idea what it was, and it just spoke to my heart so much because, I don't know, it's an aesthetic that I affiliate with in my heart. And so I would ask her what got her into dark academia and how the aesthetic and how the lifestyle, because I don't just see it as an aesthetic, but as like a lifestyle choice, as a personality type, how that impacts how she weaves through her life. So that would be my question for her. I would ask Steph's romance novels if she is just the queen of Black BookTube, because I remember commenting on one of her videos once and she was like, just do it. Like, Black BookTube is hard, but just do it. She just seems so encouraging, and so I just want to hang out with her. Stephanie's romance books shelf or something. I will put both of them below because they're great. 7, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? That is easy. Consistency. So we're filming literally 50 videos right now, like not today, obviously, but like before launch, with the exact understanding that it's not going to be fun to be filming every week. And so getting ahead of schedule is something that's very important to my brother and I. And so I think staying consistent is going to be really tough, but hopefully if we're so many videos ahead, then we can, you know, give ourselves a week-long break and still be okay. That's the goal. Number 8, when did you start reading? When I was 20, I think I mentioned that. Number 9, where do you read? So this is a really hard question to answer because I read basically wherever I can. I think typically I read in my room on my bed, but I also really love reading outside. I like to just take a blanket, like a picnic blanket out, and sit outside and read. I do actually really enjoy that. So those are probably my 2 favorite places to read. Actually, it's not my favorite place to read in my bed. That is actually not my favorite place, but it is the most often. I also read on the couch in the living room. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read YA fantasy novels. Anything with a good magic system and fairies, I am for. I feel like there have been like, what is the word? I feel like there have been trends in YA fantasy. Like for a while it was witches and wizards, and then it was vampires, and I feel like we are in, for a long time it was Vikings. I'm very excited, not so much in YA fantasy, but like just in terms of shows and books. And I do love the Viking, like, mythology. And so I'm very excited for that. So, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read YA fantasy novels. Anything with a good magic system and fairies, I am for. I feel like there have been like, what is the word? I feel like there have been trends in YA fantasy. Like for a while it was witches and wizards, and then it was vampires, and I feel like we are in, for a long time it was Vikings. I'm very excited, not so much in YA fantasy, but like just in terms of shows and books. And I do love the Viking style, but I'm really here for fairies, and I cannot wait for the fairies in books to be presented in other forms of media for everyone to enjoy. I'm very excited about that. This is the new booktuber tag. I am Lexi. My brother is Keith, and you will be seeing him or hearing him more likely. And we are very excited to be here. So thank you so much, BookTube, for having us. And we hope to provide some new thoughts, some new perspectives, and to get some feedback from you guys. That's kind of a big part of dark academia, is to share ideas, right? So that we can all be better. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you would like to see more of us. And in the comment section below, let me know what is your favorite work of classic literature, and I will be sure that we read it. That's something that I'm committed to, reading everybody else's favorites. And we will catch you guys next time. Anything else I want to say? Subscribe, ding the bell, comment, vote. Like or dislike this video. It helps to let us know what sorts of things you guys want to see. Part of this is to serve a community, not just to serve ourselves. So we'll catch you guys next time. Bye!